Hello everyone, I am at the Veterinary Wildlife Services with our veterinary technologist, Deborah. So she is going to tell us everything about the lab, everything about this place, how they work, how they get the job done. Let's go.
This is a storeroom where we keep all the lab consumables. Every time we have to go and capture, we need to have all the stuff ready. This is just our blood tubes where we'll be able to collect blood from the animals, and they come in different types. And this is mainly for different assays. So you will need your whole blood cell to do sort of your molecular biology work. You will need your serum to run assays such as ELISA, where you focus more on, for example, an HIV test where they take your blood. So they will use serum just to get to the assay. So it's different types of tubes for different types of assays mostly.
So when you collect the blood, do you come back and keep it here, or maybe there is a different place for that?
So once we collect the blood, we take a cooler box with us with ice. Everything must be kept cool unless there is a specific reason for that, for the SOP that says that samples must be kept at room temperature. But other than that, for standard operation procedure, we kept ours at on ice, just cool. And then once they get to the lab, we process them immediately and store them at minus 80 degrees.
Minus 80 degrees. Okay, so the room temperature here normally is at 25 or?
Yes, room temperature will be between your 21 and 25. Okay. But then for cool on ice, it's like 4 degrees to 8 degrees. Oh, okay. So most of them go on 4 degrees to 8 degrees.
Okay, so how often do you go out and collect blood or do the research?
It depends on a project. Okay. We have been dehorning rhinos since 2009, and this is where the air wings, the ranger services, our department, and other people around us just decided that we need to dehorn rhinos because they are being poached and the percentage has decreased in the past decade. Okay. So with that being said, we use it as an opportunity just to collect samples because we manage what we call a biological bank. This is where we store any type of samples from any species, and we use that for research purposes. Should any person come in the future and say, I want samples from a buffalo because I want to test if buffaloes from 2002 had TB and then these ones now don't have TB. We all have that. We have samples from 1997. Oof. And they've been stored at minus 80s and minus 20 since then, and they're still feasible. If a researcher feels like these are the samples that I need, we also collect blood samples. We collect tissue from just the tip of the ear. We collect hair samples. This is mostly for DNA. And then we do ticks for parasitic work, and we do feces also for parasitic. So we give researchers options. It is also easy for a researcher to just come in and take the samples rather than having to get a helicopter and a pilot and the rest of the team to go and collect, let's say, 100 samples from an elephant. It is very expensive. It is time consuming. So if we do it then it's better. If we have samples in our biobank, then it's just better. You just come in and take the samples and continue with your studies.
So like if you take the old samples, do you get accurate results, or maybe you prefer getting new samples if you want to get accurate results?
That's part of research.
Okay,
That's part of research. Okay. So we just keep the samples. I did my master's on samples that have been kept in our biobank on lions.
The old ones?
It was more of 2 years, 2016, 17, and 18 samples. Yeah. And with my studies, because I was working on protein work, it was, we found out that fresher samples are more preferred than older samples. This is one of our veterinary prep room, and this is where we prepare everything before we go on captures. So this side you have treatment trays. When we have to recover orphans, this all here is for the dehorning project. So with the dehorning, we use a chainsaw to cut them and just leave sort of like 8 centimeters or enough, just so that there is enough for regrowth, also so that we don't damage them also. Okay. And this is a grinder, we just round it off nicely so that we leave nothing for the poachers. Oh. Yeah, they'll basically see that there's basically nothing in it. Okay. And we spoke about a Rhodes kit that has been connected.
Can I test this?
Yes, you can.
What do you use this for?
This is the one that goes to the genetics labs for every rhino that we touch. So if it's the first time that we touch it, remember I said we put transponders on them. So if it doesn't have a transponder and it doesn't show that it's been dehorned, then we know it's a new animal, then we give it. We have to sample it for those. And it will go to the genetics lab in University of Victoria.
So what is this? Is this salt? Or?
This is salt. We keep tissue in it just to preserve the cells. So we just cut a piece of an ear. We don't do that with humans.
only with the animals.
Yeah, okay. Just a tiny. It doesn't hurt, and we put in what we call potassium permanganate just to prevent the infection. If
the normal potassium permanganate.
Yes, the purple crystals.
Oh yes, I know that. Okay.
And then here will be the blood that we collect, and we also do hair into an envelope. There's a brown envelope in here. Yeah.
So do you use all these tubes when you do your research?
Yes. For that part, yes. For our main sample, it will be a huge one like this. So this is a transponder. We insert it onto the animals.
Okay.
And
doesn't it hurt? It looks big.
We're talking of elephants and
oh yes, of course.
It's wildlife. It's not your cat. And I mean with cats they also give them transporters.
Yeah, it just looks big. But for humans.
No, I don't even know what type of transponders they use in humans. I know they do have. We'll collect feces from here into here.
Okay.
We do ticks. We collect ticks.
Ticks?
Yes.
And then, you just take them
them
from the
I'll show you now. We'll go to the biobank and then show you just.
Are we going to collect those ticks?
No, we're not collecting them. We're collecting them. No, don't worry too much about that. And then we do swaps, and this is for a research project. TB in rhino. So in 2016, they discovered TB in rhino, and we also they discovered also TB in elephants. And this happened, I think, in 1 year. And according to me, we had a lot happening that year. There was drought, like crazy drought that year. So I think a lot of animals were compromised. So since then, we are trying to research. And because Dalred has put us under quarantine, so we cannot remove any animals out of the park, because if you do, that means we are giving them this TB or whatever disease that we have. So we have to be TB clean first. At the moment we have rhinos in our bomas, they are under quarantine, and we tested them like 3 times every 6 weeks, and with the results saying they're negative, then we then convinced Dalred that these animals are TB negative. So if we don't do that, then we are not TB free. But then that means every animal that comes in that must go out must be tested for at least 3 months. So
the TB that you're talking about, is it the same TB that affects humans?
No, it is what we call bovine tuberculosis, from the word bovis, which is mainly on your cattle and stuff. So that's what they got. And ADI explains the interaction of buffaloes and cattle at the boundaries. So that's where the cattle with TB put it into the buffaloes in here. And because buffaloes are your herbivores, the predators feed on that, and that's where they get it.
They get it. Yeah.
So it is spread.
So that is why you make sure that they are TB negative.
Well, we can't treat them with TB. The treatment will be more like on humans, and you cannot sedate an animal like any humans. You cannot sedate humans every time. They become resistant to those drugs that you give them, and it is expensive.
So when they become resistant, do you change the medication?
That's the thing. You can't really, like for sedating them, you can't really do that. So that's why we let nature be. We are in the wild after all. So we don't interfere so much. When we interfere, it's because there's a research project happening, and they're just interested to see. And we not only focus on diseases. We have projects where they wanna deal with safer immobilization for animals. So which drugs works better for this animal? You see? Then it becomes easier for us when we have to catch those animals. We know this has been researched and it's been published and it works. And you can also, like with the vets, they look at a lion and say this lion could be 120 kilograms. So we give it this drug and this dose. So it's more of a safer immobilization.
That's huge.
Yeah, but that's not on me. That is mostly on the veterinary.
So you work as a team.
We work as a team, and it works amazing. You can't do it alone.
Yeah, of course.
You need a driver to transport the animals. You need people to hold onto the animals for you to get your projects done. I always say to them, there is nobody who's important than the other person here.
Of course.
Because you need that person to get this multi-million rand project done. So as a team, we make it work.
You do it better today.
Yeah. So this is a biobank room. This is where we keep all the samples from 1997. So we have 9 freezers and the 10 one is in. And we are actually planning on extending the building because we don't have space anymore.
So what's in here?
All the blood samples. And you see this is serum from 2012.
2012.
Yep, 2012.
So it's been here since 2012.
And a researcher can easily come here and say, I want something from here, whatever, and you just give it to them. It still works.
Wow.
The only thing that is more important after putting them into here is that you keep the freezer running. That's it. And the throwing and freezing, you saw that there were tiny tubes that have 2 meals, and you get those that are 4 meals. So with running a biobank, you prefer the smaller ones because then you know you don't freeze and thaw every time. If a researcher wants 1 meal, you know you're only going to freeze and thaw once, and then the rest is just another meal or just twice. The same time.
Wow, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. So samples from 2012 we still have them, yeah.
It's 1997.
1997?
Yeah. The summer here. Thank you. So blood has been collected. There's a little bit of tissue pain.
Oh yes.
See how tiny that is. And then there's hair. You just keep it aside. Keep records of everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
It's
is
called-
minus 20 days. There's a heating day.
So do you work in here or maybe you just go in and take something then go out?
You would take something and come.
Oh, you're not working there?
But then you'll be working because
In here?
yes.
No. It's no, it's cold. That's
So
right.
when I come in here, I have a beanie, I have 2 jackets, I have gloves.
Oh yeah, you must keep warm.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And then if it's in summer, I just get sick because I'm freezing. I
And
go
then,
out.
yeah,
It's
you go
super
out,
hot.
it's warm and then,
Yeah. But then these chest freezers do work better than these ones. But then this also works as a backup. Should we lose any of this, so we can take the samples out from there and